What is up, guys, and welcome to the Humble Farmer spreadsheet. You will receive access to this once you subscribe to my launch pass, right, including the private Discord. And the cool thing about this subscription is that once you subscribe once, you'll have lifetime access to the Humble Farmer spreadsheet, right? So you don't have to be subscribing every single time, every single month in order for you to utilize it. Once you subscribe for 1 month, you'll receive this forever, right? So I hope that provides good value. The first thing you'll notice is that right now it's view only. So once you have access to it, once you subscribe, you want to go to make a copy and then name it whatever you want, right? So for example, my spreadsheet. Now, once you do this, Google Sheets will make a new tab, which you can edit, right? It's the carbon copy. It's the exact copy of the master sheet, but the only difference is that you can make edits. So you can just like type hello in here and whatnot. And one thing you'll notice is that, it comes with many tabs, and they'll be updating this over time, right? So, a month from now, maybe there's a new farm that needs its own spreadsheet to manage, and maybe I'll add that over time. So there's that. And every tab has a video that accommodates it, right? So for example, this one has an 8-minute video where I go over like, how do you use this, etc. So since this is an overview video, I'm just gonna briefly go over how this works. So this tab you're seeing is a P&L tracker, right? So this is essentially a way for you to keep track of how much you're making on particular farms in a particular ecosystem, depending on how much risk you're taking. And these cells will update on its own. So for example, if I delete these cells, you'll see that these numbers change, right? So it's just a good way for you to over time keep track of how you're doing depending on how much risk you're taking. Now these are fake numbers, but in this example, like this person does well in a medium and low risk farm, does really well on Terra, Avalanche Phantom, and gets wrecked on BSC and Harmony, right? So maybe this is a way for you to say, okay, or maybe this is this person's way of saying, maybe I'm just not good at farming on BSC and Harmony. I should just focus all my efforts on Terra, Avalanche Phantom, and maybe I should focus on Solana as well, etc. And I think it's good to keep track of like what your thesis was, like what your results are. So let me just go over my farming results, just like a snippet of like what I've been doing. So I went over DinoSwap in July, and the one thing I didn't go over in August was Frost Finance. So this was one of the first Degen farms on Avalanche, and my thesis was that, hey, I'm gonna deposit wrapped AVAX. It's going to be easy to dump on the newbie farmers that don't really know what they're doing. They're just really excited. They're going to enter this farm. They're going to buy the farm token, etc. And I'm just going to be farming and dumping ASAP to these I guess newbie farmers and sell for AVAX. And you see that in 3 days, I essentially made $1,500. There was a 2% withdrawal fee, so in total, I made $1,035, right? So, over time, maybe like you have like 10 farms that you've done in a course of, let's say, 2 months, and you see that, hey, like whenever there's an emerging ecosystem and I enter a farm, I do really well. So maybe, over time you can keep track of how you've been doing. Then you have an APR, APY calculator. This is pretty simple. So given like particular APR and the amount invested, how much can you expect to earn, assuming that, these rates are stable. There's the money market simulator where this is made for Aave, where depending on how much assets you have as collateral and how much you're borrowing against it and your liquidation threshold, how much would your collateral have to drop in order for you to get liquidated, right? So it's a useful tool. And this is something I've gone over many times on my channel, but this is a way for you to set up your Terra ecosystem and see, okay, like this is my setup on Terra, how much can I earn, or how much am I earning in this particular period of time? And this has been pretty stable for the past 2 months, so I expect this to also be stable. And it's just a good way for you to track, how much am I earning on my assets, and if I'm earning this much, then it makes it that much easier to hold Luna. Now this is a tab that will allow you to, for a particular collateral ratio and liquidation level, how much would this asset that I'm shorting have to appreciate in order for me to get liquidated. And the last tab I'll go over is setting goals. I think it's really important to set goals because I feel like when you're farming, like what are you working towards, right? If you have a lot of money, then you don't really have to take on that much risk because crypto just gives you such high returns. So if you have if your current capital is $100,000 and you're earning, if you're targeting 0.5% a day, this is 0.5, right? 0.5, then you can expect to 6x your portfolio after a year, etc. Right? Or maybe you're more conservative. You're saying 0.5% per week, and then you can expect to earn 29.6% per year, etc., etc., etc. So it's just a good way for you to say, okay, like these are my goals for earning passive income. How do I get there? And by just doing the math on how much you need to earn, then you can work towards that, right? I think it makes it that much easier. So hopefully this was a good overview of the Humble Farmer spreadsheet. Like I mentioned, you just have to subscribe once, right? in order for you to get access to the Humble Farmer spreadsheet, right? It's lifetime access. And, the benefit of subscribing is that, over time I'll be updating this, right? So it's going to get better and better over time. And I think it'll be a good way for you to, just become a better farmer, right? Because if you're not tracking your farming results and like doing the math on how much you're earning, then how do you know that you're maximizing your gains? So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the private Discord. Thanks.